Hey guys, off Demran. Hey, I wanted to show you guys all the different debugging features that Denizen comes with. A lot of the times, people come into our channel and get some help, and it's usually just a command failing here or there. And usually what we tell them is to check the debug. And Denizen actually has quite a few different features that you can use to debug scripts and to control debug output. So I'm going to kind of go over those. We should know that just the Denizen debug command will turn on and off debugging from the scripts. And I've always maintained that the best way to debug a script is to have actual physical the actual physical ability to look at the console live. But there are some features that are implemented that kind of make it easier for those of you that aren't able to do that. And that is, first of all, the Denizen debug -c command, which is really simple. But all it does is disable color from the debug. A lot of the times, if you're only able to get your debug information through some kind of online console, the color codes can really muck things up. And so you'll notice that the color has been disabled. You can use the same command to re-enable it. So that's just like a little thing. But there's also the Denizen debug recorder that utilizes McMonkey's case server, and it's really easy to use and it's super helpful. And a lot of the times we'll actually ask people to do this when they come in for help, just to get some quick information from them, to see what's going on. But Denizen debug /R will record all the information that goes through the debugger. So there's all kinds of information, spitting out to debug right now from my little spawn limiter script here, which we'll go over in a minute. But basically, when you decide that you've gotten enough information, you use Denizen submit, and it gives you a link here that you can open up, and you can see here all that information is now accessible via URL. And you can, of course, Apple F or Control F and find some information that you need. And this is just a script kind of repeating over and over. So, but that's super helpful. But some of the other features kind of help out too. And first of all, you'll notice that this script is extremely spammy, and it's really only doing 4 things here. And all it's doing is utilizing a world event here on creeper spawns because natural, on zombie spawns because natural, skeleton, enderman. It's basically blocking the natural spawn of these entities. And really, debug information is pretty redundant because it's so simple, but the problem is that it goes off a lot. And allowing this to be on not only spams your console, but it can affect performance too. So Denizen has a debug node that you can put in any script, and if you set that to false, I'm just going to go ahead and save that and reload my scripts here. You'll notice that we're no longer getting that information. And you can do that to any script that you'd like. For instance, I have another script here that runs when I start sneaking, and just the same way I can set debug to false, reload my scripts, and you'll notice that it's no longer going to the debugger. Just going to set that back. Sometimes you'll come across the situation where you have a bunch of scripts, with debug disabled. Actually, I'll put that back so that we can kind of demonstrate this. And you want to debug it anyway. So even though this rogue sneak and my spawn limiter script here are disabled debug wise, I can still filter the Denizen debugger and give it the names of some scripts, just like this: Denizen debug, 2 hyphens, filter, and then because my script is 2 words, I need to have some quotes. So I'm going to add Denizen, I'm going to add rogue sneak to the filter, just like that. And you'll notice now that I'm getting debug information from that. But what you'll also notice is that let me utilize my other script here, this teleport command. I'm not getting any debug information from that. So you can add as many scripts as you want to this filter. For instance, let me go ahead and add the teleport command. And you'll see that now I'm getting debug information from that. So this filter is kind of cool. It can come in handy in other situations, such as if you have some kind of utility script being run from another script. So for instance here, just leave this over here so you can kind of see it. I have this task script that is running this procedure script, and I may not be interested in what this generate number list script is doing, but I am interested in what this hello server script is doing. And so I can tell it not to show the debug from running this procedure script here just by adding it again to the filter. And I'm going to go ahead and clear my filter real quick, and you just do that with the -x command. You'll see the filter has been removed. I'm just going to go ahead and add only hello server. And now if I run my hello server script, I can see just this debug from these 2 commands, the narrate, and I don't see any of the information from this generate number list. So you can really use that to kind of hone down on what information you're seeing. Another feature that the debugger has that is really quite useful is the -e, which is it basically shows events that are firing. And it doesn't show smart events because those are kind of parsed when your script loads, but it does show all the other events. And you'll see now it's logging all world events. And so, for instance, if I right click on this block with this custom item and then I turn it off, I can then go back here and easily see exactly what world events I can use. And so this is showing that that click right there is as broad as on player clicks, but also can be as specific as player right clicks block with my IAT keyboard definer. So a lot of the times when people are wondering why a world event isn't firing, I'll suggest them to use this, and then they can see real time what events are firing. And any of these can be utilized in your scripts. In fact, you'll see the spawning stuff here. So Enderman spawns because natural, which is what I'm using right here to determine that event canceled. It's really spammy, so you want to kind of, be able to turn it off real quick after you use it, but it's super useful. Last little thing I'm going to show you here is a little secret flag that that I added that I thought was useful. A lot of times, of course, you know about the EX command, and what that lets you do is run a single command, such as narrate, and you'll see hello there. Well, oftentimes you don't get any feedback from a command, and you'll see that that command didn't do anything, and unless I'm looking at my console, which I should be, but sometimes it's not handy. It's nice to be able to see kind of the output that the commands are giving, and so you can give yourself a flag called show command reports. I'm just using /ex flag show command reports. That'll flag my player by default. And now you'll notice that commands that are getting executed, it'll show right here in my player console, just to kind of give you some feedback of what's going on. Again, it can get kind of spammy, and so to turn it off, you just remove the flag, and we know we can do that with a colon and an apostrophe, or I'm sorry, and an exclamation point after the flag name, and it'll no longer show the debugs anymore. But hopefully some of that gives you a little bit more control over your debug information. I know a lot of this looks overwhelming, but I encourage you guys, to look through it if you're having problems. Even if you just use a Control F to kind of find, where your command is executing. You can, double check, how your arguments are being interpreted, and things like that, which is really useful when you're programming anything. So that's that. Hope that's helpful for you guys. And yeah.